over here you can see we got 2 bunks of LP Legacy 3/4 subfloor. Unfortunately, we've got to get them up there on that 2nd story. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to fish them right up through our trusses, and it's gonna be a lot of work, but it's better than taking them all the way through the house and then going up. So we're finally starting subfloor. We're gonna start in the middle. All right, so I'm gonna get a line here, and then I'm gonna have you just pull it through. All right, I'm gonna set mine down. Yeah? So with that line, that's where we're gonna start. Let me get this lined up where, oh, I need nails. Tetra grit, baby. You guys are gonna love it down there, aren't you?
Huh?
Go ahead, nail it off, man. Make sure you're 16s. I'm gonna go ahead and glue the next one. I can't believe you're still wearing gloves. I'm sweating over here. Oh. Good your way?
There you go.
Man, it's gonna be so nice when we get freaking windows up here. It's so dark. Oop, I forgot my spacer nail. Nice, dude. Appreciate you. I couldn't have done without you. All right, man. Stop what you're doing. Help me out. All right, so as you can see behind me, we've got subfloor ran. Well, we got to rip a final sheet over there, but we've got subfloor ran that way. Now we're going to run this way, and what we have to do, because we wanted to define this line right here, exactly across my staircase opening. I hit my finger. Greg's getting me a Band-Aid. We needed to rip the tongue off here so that we could run groove, you know, leading edge. That way we can pound it in nice. I always like to run the tongue into the groove. When we go this way with our subfloor, we need to flip our sheet around. What that means is we're not gonna have a tongue and a groove on this joint. So what we're doing is taking cut off I-joist blocks, and they're getting framed right underneath this joint on top of the wall that's underneath here. So this is gonna give us a nice solid blocking. You can see them right here. A nice place to glue that joint. So even though we don't have a tongue and groove application happening right here, our tongue and tongue that we're gonna rip off is gonna be nice and solid. It's not too bad. Thank you. Oh, you even got me some cleaner. We don't want COVID.
Nope.
Well, the only one out here giving me AIDS would be you, dude. And I know you probably don't have it. I wonder if my stress and blood pressure is adding to the amount of blood that's coming out of this finger there. At least that'll keep the blood from spewing out all over my customer's nice subfloor. Also, you might hear behind me a noise. That's the electrician. They're boring a hole through the foundation wall so they can bring in the main service line. We just got power yesterday, so we're running off of actual electricity, not battery power, to power up all these lights. And it's only a matter of time before we get power in the building, and the plumber is gonna be working on the in-floor heat. So we're gonna have good working conditions throughout the rest of this winter, I think. We good over there for gap?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think good. Good. So the subfloor is going pretty good. The Legacy is pretty darn true, and it goes in quite easy, so we don't have to pound it too hard with a sledgehammer. You also see Greg's using the Tetra Grip, and that's the Paz load. It's kind of a proprietary subfloor nail, and it kind of acts like a scrail. So you can kind of see there, you zoom in, that nail is not just your regular ring shank, it's got a coating, and they claim, Paz load does, that if you use this system and you nail it properly, you don't even need a glue and your floor will be guaranteed to be squeak free, but we are using some glue. This Great Stuff adhesive, which is also a construction adhesive, good for subfloor. You've got that limited lifetime warranty on your subfloor, your glue, so as a system, it's gonna be hopefully here forever. Long time, long past when we're gone. I know there's a lot of people that, that never think you need to use a track saw in framing, but for doing our sheathing, I like to use a track saw because we get nice clean edges, and more importantly, yes, the cut edge is good, but the side on the next piece over here that we're not going to use, it is also going to be good. So if we wanted to use this up against a factory, it's not going to look like a freaking, I don't know, saber-toothed tiger came through and bit its way through with a, does that make sense, Greg? Saber-toothed tiger? I just think it looks better, you know, and it's easy. All right, we got our stagger done. That's as far as we can go for now until we get our mezzanine completely built all the way out, but we're waiting on some eye joists. So now we can finish this up, clean up, and start framing these exterior walls up here. Nice, Greg, here's your ceiling. So it's like I'm a 6 foot tall man, you know? So that's out at the outside. And then as you come all the way in, I mean, we're gonna be ways away. Yeah, and with this being like the kid area in here, I think that's even a better idea to put the bedrooms on the small side.
Yeah, if I had a room like that, I'd probably put in like one of the fake basketball hoops on the end.
Yeah, be dunking on your sibs.
Yeah.
It's true, man. Price. So I'm just going around, now that we're done framing walls and just adding these blocks with the 9 foot, 9 foot walls, I honestly don't know that there's a code to do this. This will take out any, weight squashing down on these studs. It'll straighten them out by making sure that your blocks are cut good. We did this all on the miter saw. Greg set up the cut hub so that he could just repetitively cut 14.5-inch blocks. So the ends are square, which means when these get nailed into these studs, it also helps straighten them out and keep things true. It's just a good practice, I think, especially on a little bit of a taller wall. And obviously having the laser set up makes it pretty darn easy. Get it set to a height, which I've just got it at a midpoint. And then I can go around and hit all these. So you can see here, I mean, these boards these are all cut to the dimension that should be between these studs, but because they're gonna have bows and swoops and crowns and whatever you wanna call them in them, these are what's gonna bring everything back to the dimension that it should be at. Some are gonna be loose, and this one here, this one's pretty snug, which is good. Now obviously, nail gun safety, you gotta be careful where your hands are at. I kind of need to hold these right where I'm at, and I'm kind of shooting it away from where my fingers are specifically, but I'm also making sure that there's no knots or anything right where I'm nailing. If there were, I would do something a little different, maybe not hold it right there. But as long as I'm going into some clean wood, the Pazlode's got lots of power. It does a pretty good job. You know, knock on wood, I've never really had any serious injuries doing this. Just pay attention to where you're putting your nailer. See, so I haven't nailed this to the ends yet, which will make it stiff, but just as it is, it really adds a ton of rigidity to these walls. So the strength of every stud is kind of being added to each other and adding some real nice rigidity. And obviously we're gonna have nice straight studs as long as I'm plumb here and up there. And then these are all cut accurate to the same dimension that is marked out on each plate. Oh no! I gotta cut one of them out. It just hit me.
Oh, for the...
Yeah, wherever that, probably this guy here or whatever. Dang it. I just thought about that. Literally as I was like turning around, I was like, stupid Kyle. That's what Sawzalls are for. Yeah. We'll worry about that when the time comes and we know where we're putting it. So what we've got going over here is that the customer added this mezzanine out over the kitchen. We're gonna have 16 foot of second story above the kitchen. So right about here, this is gonna be 2-story. So Greg is cleaning up the columns and I'm prepping another LVL to go across that wall. Nice, that actually went pretty easy, man. Not that I expected any different, but. All right, we're gonna lose power quick, so let's go ahead and get this up, huh? I kind of want to do this side first. Okay. Oh, there goes our main power. Right there. So I think we get it on top of this ladder, okay, and then into that window ledge maybe. Okay. And then these are already cut too, so they should just slip right underneath when we get there. They should wedge right in there. Oh, it's not too bad. Go ahead. You go as far as you can. Set it on that girt in the corner maybe or something. I'm through. Okay. Okay. Now hold it there. Get as close as you can, Greg, to your location. Are you able to get in the window? Oh, no kidding. So I might as well go ahead and set it up in here?
I think so, yeah.
I'm thinking I can probably. Right there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, ladder. There. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of put it on my shoulder.
Okay. Okay, my way, my way, my way.
Okay, I'm losing the ability. Jesus. Jesus. Come on, Greg.
There's just no foam behind it when you...
Mm-hmm. That wasn't too bad, dude.
No.
No, it's easy. Dude, there's like no sag in this thing either. Really, this worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
Where's our marks on the ground? These guys to wedge under here. This is the way to do it, man. Temporary hang. So I feel like all day we've been preparing for this moment.
Yeah.
All day we've been working to get to this time. So what we're doing is temporarily screwing these eye joists, then I'm coming back hanging them, and then Greg just fastened back to the wall with the laser up here, making sure that this is running straight. Works out pretty good. So what I like to do is just go ahead and temporarily screw these eye joists in on the top so that this is all perfect, flush, and then I'll come back in and add my hangers after the fact. Good timing, I think. We're just gonna back up to this door right here. You can see the tracks in the snow probably, and we'll load them right into the garage. Dude, our windows just showed up. That is exciting. Like, that is really exciting.
Look at that. Pella windows. Finally, January, what is it, the 4th?
Yeah, 4th.
January 4th. And I'm eating sausage. What is this? I'm eating the sausage and muffin Greg got me for breakfast this morning. What a guy. Oh.
I'm just curious, every time you guys deliver windows, is the customer like, oh, about time, this is amazing?
A lot of them. Yeah, it's getting to be like that.
Yeah, got it. Look at these beautiful windows. Provincial interior stain, black exterior. Windows. Windows.
Have a good one, guys.
You too, guys.
Probably see you next week.
Yep. Sounds good. You let me know. All right, you gonna cut one more?
Yeah, I'll cut one more.
Now don't worry, YouTube, I will be coming back and I will be filling, or maybe Greg will be filling, I don't know. So one of us will be filling all these holes. All right, so I got you mounted in the scissor lift, guys. You might be moving. Don't worry, it's just the scissor lift. It's not the building. This thing is, oh, it is pretty windy, you're right. The building could be moving slightly. What we're gonna do, we got all of our eye joists laid out, and you can see right here, if you look at my hand, there's a laser beam. We've got that laser beam set up across the face of this beam here. This is not a laser beam, this is a wood beam. And this is supporting the mezzanine over top of our kitchen. You like what I did there? We've got it set up so that we can tell right here that laser beam is about 1/8 of an inch into the wood beam. So what Greg is doing is over there on our beam that's on the wall, the header that runs across our wall that our eye joists are setting on, he's gonna fasten the eye joist to that beam at the post location where it's nice and solid when I give myself here a little push and get it lined up right where we want it. So I'm just gonna push this. It's gonna be a little bit of work. Greg, I would say go for it. There. So now the laser is right where we want it. And that is looking pretty good. Now, Greg, this one I think needs to go out, down there. Yeah, go ahead, hit it. And then hit all those right there. I'm just gonna hold this. Hit those two that you're in between there. Yeah, these need to come out just a hair. This needs to come out just a hair. Right about there, man. So by locking that in over there against the wall every 8 foot, that really straightens out this LVL here, this double LVL. And now we can go ahead and secure all those eye joists over on that header. And I'm gonna finish up putting the rest of my hangers on. And then this mezzanine, for the most part, wrapped up, ready for sheathing. And This was all an addition. This was all added on after the fact. But the beauty is, I think we started this project talking about post-frame benefit. If you were to stick frame this building, it would have been a lot harder to just come in here and add more square footage. But because we have just this big shell of a building that we're building the house inside of, it was an open floor plan that we could do anything, and we have changed a lot as we've gone through it, because the customer can walk in here, they can see it, they can feel it, and they can know that it's not necessarily what they wanted. So then we can just make a change on the fly without having to re-engineer trusses and load points, because every load point is already determined and taken right to our foundation on our exterior walls. So pretty cool, I think, and it definitely, you know, gave a lot of value being able to do this here for the customer.
No, we don't want changes.
Yeah, we don't want changes.
Is that really a benefit, Kyle?
I mean, I think it's cool. So now that we have this mezzanine built, what I'm doing is, because these are temporary, we don't know exactly we don't know, because my client's not 100% sure yet how they want to do these columns, what they want them to be made of or look like. We kind of built this in a way that the columns can be added later, obviously before drywall and everything. So we've just taken some 2x4s, I wedged them in so that everything was level, and then I added another, what we call a T-nailer, because it kind of makes like a letter T, and it gives it some strength this way and this way without using big bulky lumber. So I'm just screwing those together, and then what it will also allow me to do is to screw it up here at the beam to make sure it doesn't get knocked out. There, so now we got a nice little sturdy temporary post, support the weight of this mezzanine, and yeah, we'll keep moving on. We got one more big beam to put in and post to put in to finish this over here that kind of finishes off the little balcony into the living room. And then the floor framing is done, and we can move up to the upstairs and finish we're gonna start our wall framing. Now get your end up there. Okay, yep. Now come on over here. Just don't let it slide off. Okay.
Kind of awkward lift for me. Got it?
Yeah. Hold it for a second.
I just can't.
Oh, you got it? I'm helping. Okay.
You gotta go all the way.
Hey, get your board. Greg, get your board. Where are you going?
See, you got that. Putting that insulation back on there.
Hey guys, if you've never seen this tool, I know I've never done the review. This is a cat's paw. It's a claw. It's a, well, what are the other names for it? There are no names. Cat's paw.
Cat's paw.
I don't know any other name. Pry bar, I guess, pry bar obviously. But these are used to pull nails. Most commonly, we use these when we mess something up and have to fix something. You can hear Greg behind me. I messed up. I laid out this wall, instead of laying out edge at 16" on center, I laid out to the center, or no, I laid out the center mark of our joists and then put them on edge. So they all need to be shifted over 1.25 inches. So this cat's paw pry bar, we gotta pull a bunch of nails. It's all right, I'm just messing, dude. This is easy.
Don't take a step back.
Yeah. Isotunes, dude, put them in. Coming for you, dude. This one's a little bit. Good enough. So when we get to the edge of the mezzanine here, this edge is a big LVL and it's not perfectly straight. So what we've done is set up a laser that's shining across the face of this LVL. Greg, is it good down there? Do you want to check that down there? Because that looks a little bit off. But what we're doing is we've got this laser line and we're pushing and pulling this last LVL out on the outside edge to be right on that laser, and we're nailing our subfloor to it, in essence giving us a nice straight line. That's just kind of a nice little thing. We can see, I can see right where this laser is, and I can kind of follow it down this edge. You're good. I just can't get over how freaking solid this feels. Yeah. Well, it feels really good to get this floor done here. This is going to be an awesome space. This is going to be filled with the bedrooms for the kids, the bathroom, the playroom, and the one section of floor that we don't have done yet is that added mezzanine over top of the kitchen. That's going to be an open balcony, another place just to have more, I guess, room, you know, and it's kind of, we were talking about it with the client, the cheapest square footage in this building, because it was, you know, with post frame being the type of build that it is, it lends itself to that easy, you know, addition without really a whole lot of extra work. So we were able to frame that up, make it happen. I don't have that sheathed yet. The subfloor is not done on that. We're going to hold off there, and we're going to concentrate on getting these rooms framed up. So what we have to do is get all the ceiling framed, get our walls framed, and that's because the mechanical, plumbing, electrical guys, they can't really get in here and start roughing things in until all the framing's done. And there's really nothing to be done out there on that mezzanine. I'm going to hold off on it, and we're going to try to get ahead of them so they can get in here and start doing what they need to do. Today we had heat on for the first time, and it was a good and a bad thing. Greg and I dressed to work in cold weather, and it wasn't cold. So I will not be wearing insulated pants if I'm working inside, because that radiant heat is amazing. It feels awesome, and we definitely don't need insulated clothes. But for today, we're going to get out of here. We're feeling good about this. There's a lot of room up here, and I love the LP Legacy. As I walk around on this, you can probably not hear how quiet it is, but it's solid and it's quiet. And that's what I love about this stuff. It is just the next level from a standard subfloor material. So if you want nice, quiet, solid floors, you got to go with a premium subfloor product, and Legacy, LP Legacy is definitely my favorite. So with that, I'm gonna get out of here. See you guys on the next episode. Hopefully if you enjoyed this, you guys come back for more. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment if you guys got something you want to say, and I'll take a look at those. If you got questions, I'll do my best to answer them. So see you later. We'll catch you in the next one.